Yeah, I'm supposed to. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. It's Birds of Feather Podcast.
Oh, Todd, we're right. I can hear you. You cut out. You completely. No, you
This man
completely cut
right
out. It's
I
probably
cut
because you
out.
got your hand on the bottom of the mic.
You know what? That's probably a point. It's got you as an audience instead of a guest. That's probably the issue.
That's weird. I can see myself.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to your email. Y'all, bear with us. I'm gonna send it to your email. See if that makes a difference.
Check my
All right. It says you're already invited to the video.
laptop.
It's got you in as an audience. It's weird. All right. I resent the link. Click that back in again. See if it make a difference. Cause I hear you.
Oh,
Hey, there you go.
you
There.
see me now?
Yeah, we all good. All right, man. So, um, first things first. Falcons lose versus the Carolina Panthers, 44-38. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a really good game. Like it had me on my edge of the seat most of the game. There was obviously some stuff that got to be cleaned up. We are officially headed into the off season, so like content's gonna change a little bit, guys. But obviously we'll still be here. Man, there was some things I really loved from the offensive side. Some things I absolutely hated from the defensive side. What was your takeaway from today's game, bro?
Defense sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Give up 44 points to the Panthers.
Bryce Young has
Bryce Young,
five
Bryce Young, 5 touchdowns.
five touchdowns. Yeah. Yeah, they scored six. Yeah, they scored
Yeah.
six touchdowns. One was rushing. Yeah, yeah, that was a legacy game for that man. Now, to be fair, that's the Bryce Young I called at the beginning of the season. That's
I
that.
mean, yeah, that's
Oh,
cool, but I don't want to hear that right now.
yeah, yeah. And to be honest,
I mean, it ain't like it really matters because the Bucks won anyway. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Betting on the Saints was a losing proposition from jump. Um, to be honest with you, they was up 16-6, and I was like,
uh-huh.
most fugazi shit I've ever seen in the world. Because the Bucks was moving the ball, they was just running into dumb stuff, and I was like, man, maybe they could just hold on. But then, like, I'm watching our game, and I'm like, shoot, we got to handle business before we worry about anybody else winning. And it was just, I think the most irritating part, 2 weeks in a row, your team puts up. How much did we put up against Washington last week? Was it 28 or did we
24.
24? 24 last week, and then they won 31, or they won 30-24, right?
Mm.
Like 2 weeks in a row. And yeah, we scored 24 points, but I felt like our offense was really, really clicking last week. And then even more so this week. 2 weeks in a
I can't
row
say it was clicking last week because Penix was hitting the throws this week that he was missing last week.
that he was missing last week. But I'm saying like the offense looked like, oh damn, we got something. 2 weeks in a row,
Mm.
you your guy doesn't even get to touch the ball in overtime.
Yeah, that's rough.
Your guy doesn't even get to touch, and he's making the big time throws. He's making the big time plays. Don't even get a chance to touch the ball. And I was texting you, and I was like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, because Ty's got the receipts. He ain't gonna put me on blast. But I said Tampa won before we called the coin flip, or well, like the Saints didn't convert on fourth before the coin flip, and my actual thought was like,
Yeah, they seen it.
yeah, my actual thought was like, do we put everybody back in? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like the
I
one,
didn't agree with you when you said it last year. I'm not going to agree this year.
yeah. Well, for me, I was just like, that's a me thinking. Where it's like, do we need to put everybody back in?
Resting is for winners.
Yeah, that's true. Y'all,
Because there's literally no thing of people like, oh damn, we're at the playoffs. Let's sit our guys. No one does that. If a game gets out of hand, maybe, but no one does it in the heat of a game.
yeah, yeah. Just
Then,
for me, well, if you look at the Patriots did it today.
no, look, Drake May got hurt, and they was like, all right, well,
He
because
he
he had
back up. He could have gone back in.
he probably could have, but Joe Milton came up there slinging,
Yeah, Joe Milton went stupid. But regardless,
and they won the game. Like they didn't pull no one but May because May got hurt last week, so he was already hurt to begin with.
and it was just like, yeah,
So,
I'm good. I'm good
so
off.
like if he's already hurt, there's no need to prolong it. But no one was hurt first.
Yeah, that's. I was just thinking
That's
like,
what
do you put Bijan back in? Do you
yes, you
put
do.
Penix? Like, bro, we ain't even
Because
get to that point. We ain't even get to that point where you can.
like, but even if we did, Bijan's not the type of person that like he's like, no, I'm going out there because they want to win.
Boy, he was sick on the sidelines.
Yeah,
He
they
was
want to win.
sick
Like
on the sidelines, bro. And I think that's what
because if you bench these guys in that's how you lose respect. So you're not trying to win, coach? Why the fuck you benching this?
I think that's a move you can make with a slightly more veteran team, and like you said, not lose
I
respect.
I don't even think you could do it then because if the game is there to be is the game if the game is there to be had, why are you benching us when we can win?
This once again, this is me. It's just me.
Like that makes zero sense. And there's no proof of anyone doing that.
I think
So
is
the thought process there is not there for me. I don't understand it. I don't agree with it at its core.
that's once again that's just for me, because how I look at it, this is how I view it.
Yeah,
Penix,
I get it. You don't want no injuries for next season, but shit, what difference would that make? Like you said the same thing last year, and we're in the same position this year.
yeah, shit can happen in the
You
offseason.
you 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 can't forego wins for the sake of injury. Like if that's the case, why play the game at all? That's what you sign up for when you start playing football.
When
You know the risk.
when the game is there, and like it could mean something, like it's not something I do in a second. It's a thought I would have. Now, to be fair, to be fair, I wouldn't continue with it, especially if the guys had pushback on it. I would at least ask, hey, you want to go back in? You got competitors on the team, they're gonna say yeah, you roll with it, right? But just for me, that's a question I'd at least ask, because at this point in time, we're not playing for we're not playing for anything at this point. Because Tampa won.
Okay. See, I fundamentally disagree with that because I believe in momentum. Winning matters because like let's take it back to year one of the Detroit Lions. They were stinking enough, and then they went on a little hot streak at the end of the season. That momentum carried on into the following season, and now this season. Momentum matters. I don't believe in just foregoing wins because it doesn't matter. The shit matters. Winning matters. You want to build reps. You want to build momentum. You want to build continuality. You want building blocks to build off of. And if you're just foregoing wins, that makes you look weak as a leader. Because, coach, why aren't we winning the game? Well, we ain't got no punches. Then what the fuck are we here for? These people are paid for a job. They get paid to do this. Like, so I fundamentally disagree with just foregoing a game because it means nothing. But like, you still got a job to do.
No, I get that, and there's still pride out there.
Because what's the benefit to benching them? To play some guys that ain't gonna be in your team next year?
I think that in the service of protecting the guys who will be, yeah.
So you piss off the guys that want to play by saying sit down and bench for guys that ain't gonna be there.
No, once again, I'm not saying you make that decision unilaterally. I'm not saying you go and you just, hey, nobody's playing. I say it's a question you ask, and
That ain't no question.
I don't even think it's something you ask every single player on offense or defense. You get the leaders of your team. Hey, we're still in this, guys. Like, and that's all it got to be. That's all it got to be. Because
Yeah, I don't agree with that mindset at all.
that's once again, that's a me thing. That's a me thing. Because what I look for is the investment in the future and the protection of that investment. You have the
Then why even play the game at all if that's
but
the case?
football is not like, and I actually had this take in one of the Hawks lives. Football is not like basketball in the sense of like that momentum is actually guaranteed to carry over year. Everybody uses the Lions as an example, right? Which is cool, right?
But there are plenty of teams like the Panthers finished the season strong. Yeah, they laid an egg versus the Bucks, but they finished the season strong.
Yeah, and
They showed a lot of promise in the second half of the season.
it
That
gets
momentum will carry over.
out of like, okay, yeah, no, next season's going to be better. But nobody uses Tennessee from last year as they were starting Levis and they ended the season what 3-3
But
with
they also changed coaching staffs
they end the season 3-3 with him as a starter. Brought him in the next season. It's been trash all year. No one
because
uses
they
those.
changed that's not that argument doesn't really hold much because you changed the whole staff. The coach got fired. You brought in a whole new coach with a brand new offense. If you're in the same system, then it holds weight. With the Lions, they had the same system, so it holds weight. Detroit, Tennessee, they changed everything.
Look at
So like
New Orleans from last year.
they had the same coaching staff.
Hmm?
They had
They
the same coaching staff.
they changed coaching staff in the middle of this year. New
Yeah,
Orleans
in the middle, but they got fired. Yes, but like
what did New Orleans end with last season?
I don't remember, but I know that they probably had some momentum and it carried over and it started out hot and then the shit just fizzled out. That's why the dude got fired.
They started out 2-0 and then lost 6 in a row.
Yeah,
5
it fizzled out. The
so
injuries also fucked them. They had a fuck ton of injuries.
in that momentum talk, no one like football is not one of those things where it's
It
just
I
guaranteed.
I, I disagree. Momentum matters
No, I'm not saying it
because
doesn't matter. It's not guaranteed to build upon itself. It's not.
because the thing is when you look at it like when you look at like okay, New Orleans probably is not the best example to use because that coach probably already on his way out.
Example, I can give you a bad one. Within the
No,
last
no, no.
like
What I'm talking about is
it's not
hold on. Let me finish. Hold on. When you got coaches in their first year, you want to build upon their momentum. Detroit first year, Tennessee that went back because the coach is gone. Um, us we're in our first year with Raheem. You want to build momentum. I believe momentum transfers when you're in the start of a new regime. If the coach already on his way out, then hey, it is what it is. The same dude, they wanted him fired last year. They brought him back and he didn't make it. It reflected. But typically, when you got coaches in their first year, you momentum matters because the thing is, the reality of it is, this still isn't Raheem's team yet.
I
Because
just
really, because he can't mold the team like the quarterback position. That's all him. The offense was ready made. Terry did a good job of putting his offense together, despite all the people that want Terry fired. The offense is good.
I don't think there's any world in which there is a world, but I think it's very slim that Terry loses his job this offseason. I think
It's slim, but that seat's probably hot
the seat's hot going into next year, but I'm pretty.
because the Kirk contract alone makes it hot.
But Penix made you right. Penix made you right. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Like,
maybe
what is he? One?
because the thing is, with Penix is like we have hope, but we don't have no guarantee. We have hopefulness, but it's still not a hit yet.
Yeah, 1 and 2 as a starter. What is that? 3 touchdowns, 4 turnovers,
3 turnovers,
3 touchdowns, 3 turnovers.
and none of them were his fault really.
The 2 picks I can say wasn't his fault. One of those picks was 100%.
I'm
Not
not blaming his fault because the receiver ran the wrong route.
all right. I give you. So like you got 3 picks, and then the touchdowns you got 2 throwing, 1 running, and Bijan has carried like the lion's share of that. But there's no way I feel like as a fan or even as somebody who's like pessimistic that you could look at this offense and don't see the bones of like a really great offense coming next year.
I mean, the offense here, but the defense is the issue. I don't think many people have problems with the offense. The defense.
Bro, this is gonna be so you pointed out I knew that Simmons wasn't gonna be back, so I'm like, we're probably looking for all right.
See, at linebacker is probably the lowest position on my totem pole when it comes to needs. We need a second corner.
Hey, hold it down, bro. Give me 1 sec. Mrs. Calling.
I don't really care about myself. Yeah, we on a brief intermission because I can't really spout my take because he ain't here. So, yeah. Mm,
All right, appreciate you, bro. Now, you were saying.
I was saying like linebacker's not even like in my top half of needs. Honestly, I mean we need one, but we need it. We corner and safety because like I feel like the heart of this we like yes our run defense has been spotty at best, but we need another corner, 2 corners realistically because the offer does not need to be a starter at
And
all.
I think we've seen that this season. I especially through the last 4 games. It's been is rough.
Because like I don't know if it's a scheme thing or it's a him thing, but like typically like one thing I've seen from him is like he's been defending himself on the internet, and whenever you get to defending yourself, you lost.
Yeah. 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 When you start arguing with fans about like what they do, oh, you don't know football and whatnot, like bro,
No, like, do you know the coverage?
I watched
Like,
today. Bryce Young was damn near 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and he backed up to guard the tight end and running back in the middle of the end zone on that rushing touchdown. That shit was ridiculous, bro. That shit was
no,
ridiculous.
but see, like that play's probably like the least egregious one because it's like he's been getting teams have been pointing, just targeting him in coverage repeatedly and just going after him with no fear of anything. Like
Yeah,
he was making those plays in the first few games, but I guess teams like Mike Hughes is playing solid, AJ Terrell's good, so he's our bitch.
Clark Phillips. Clark Phillips has been playing.
Okay, he's at this point he's a depth guy.
He's been. I when I see him on the field, it's not like somebody that I see them picking on. The crazy part about it though,
The Saints picked on him.
at his size, you would think he would work with like shifty guys and smaller guys. He's a boundary corner. That's
Yeah,
the
he doesn't see the thing is like if Clark Phillips is like even like 2 to 3 inches taller, he'd be much better.
he'd be
But
elite.
the thing with Clark, I like Clark because like this ain't no slight at Clark. Is just he's not tall and he's not fast.
Yeah,
Um,
you kind of and I think straight line he may be fast. He's not. He's not.
not even like cause straight line he's a 4'5" guy. You can't be 5'9" and 4'5".
That's yeah. But I mean, he plays the angles, he plays the boundary well.
I
He's
mean,
the
yeah, but when you put speed on there to challenge him, he gets cooked.
he does. That's it.
Because that's what because the Saints targeted him.
Yeah, the Saints got after him.
And it's like I like him, but like
And,
at this point, unless I see like some real growth in the offseason, I look at him as a depth guy.
Leggett didn't play a lot of this game, didn't he? Like he got hit early, and then I
You said
didn't
who?
like Leggett.
Oh, look,
I got
I really don't know.
I saw him get hit
He
early
probably didn't.
in the back, and then I saw him on like the series after, and then he kind of just I didn't
I
see.
mean, I don't. It didn't really matter in any because we couldn't stop whoever they was throwing to anyway.
Uh, but yeah, Coker cooked. That shit was
And Coker's an undrafted free agent.
that was ridiculous, bro. May have got that man a roster spot for next year. Like
Oh no, he definitely got a roster spot
that's just crazy.
because no because he's been a pretty big part of the offense like the second half of the season.
Then
It's been him and Liga, but
their tight end zero. He was doing pretty good for a good bit of the
he
game.
he he caught AJ Terrell. He caught AJ Terrell because Terrell big. I think Bryce might have pump faked or something, but he big.
The amount of big conversions we give up is crazy to me. Crazy. You had a face mask that put them in 1st and 25, and he hits a hole shot on you the next play.
Yep.
That's bananas to me, and it's very rare.
Yeah. Look at like that's the same. I was about to go off on Clark, but he got face mask. I'm like, Clark, what the fuck? Oh, okay, you got face mask. My
You got
bad.
face masks. You know what I'm saying? They give you 15 extra yards. You let, and then it's not even a receiver. You let a tight end hit you on that. That's crazy to me.
He got hit. But it looked like it was like a cover two zone probably, but he definitely bit. But
Or
it looked that was just that was a cover two hole shot. That's what really all it was. And AJ Terrell bit down a little bit, but his responsibility is to flat
they got
or
behind,
Tampa two, whatever you want to call it.
got in between him and Jesse, and that was a terrible. It was a great throw. It was a great throw. It was just like
No, I think the play design worked because it's just one of those things where the play design versus our coverage is the perfect match for them. Because you had something to run into the flat. That's what AJ bit on.
and when I look at it, I think that our defense has they did a better job of getting to the quarterback. And I remember Jimmy Lake and people wanting to like lambast him like on the stake with him saying, we're doing everything we need to do. We're just not getting home. And then you saw it over like a 3-4 week stretch where it's like, no, they're getting home.
Yeah, because like we led the league in sacks since week 13.
Yeah, they're getting home. And then this game, you had almost no pressure. I don't think we had a sack. Um,
The only one we did, I think it was like either a penalty or something.
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember us.
No, yeah. The only one we had, Judon jumped off sides.
Yeah, and then like there wasn't a whole bunch of pressure, and it's like to me what it looked like is like they were daring. They thought they were playing the same Bryce Young that they played last year because when we played Andy Dalton this year, that's when we played Carolina. When we played Andy Dalton. When we played Carolina,
Yeah, no, yeah.
when we played
No,
Carolina last year, the defense was and Raheem wasn't even here, but the book was out on Bryce to like make him make perfect throws into tight coverage. He been hitting
see,
us.
see,
He been
see,
hitting.
I can't say that we played them like we were playing them last year because the coaching staff, this is a different style of defense. So I can't even really give that much legs.
But
I
we're
think
constantly
to
dropping.
me, this looked like a regression of Jimmy Lake because he did a lot of things that he was doing before the bye week in this game, and it showed.
I think we were what dropping
Um, yeah,
consistent
because like the first big play was like you had Judon matched up on the running back. Like
on Miles,
I really do not like that.
on Miles Sanders with the safety. Now there was safety help over top, but the play design
Yeah,
it was a post. It was a post from the ex receiver. So like
yeah,
taking your safety away, and it really is just a one on one. It's a good play design, but like
it's a good play design, but I don't like Judon in that matchup. Like we need more athletes for sure.
and
I wouldn't mind.
Judon's
I
due
wouldn't mind them back. You say he's what?
Judon's due for a payday. Um,
Yeah, but I don't. I don't know what that payday even looks like for him.
That's what they gave up a third for him. It's real hard not to re-sign him
Based on what I've seen, is not that hard.
unless you're really going to be aggressive in the draft. Which when you have your quarterback, you can be. You are aggressive in the draft on like moving down, securing more picks. But it really just,
What
what do you want to do in the draft? Do you want to stockpile more young talent? Do you want to get aggressive and go for like blue chip talent? What like
the thing
what,
with this draft, it's such a weird draft. I don't think there's anyone really worth mortgaging the future for.
which is
So,
why I'm like, is there a lot of difference between pick 42 and pick 56? And can you move down within the second
oh,
round,
I fully expect a second round trade because I don't think Terry has stayed pat in the second at all. But I think we might even see a first round trade. Um,
moving back in the first?
yeah, moving back, I don't see. I highly doubt. I'll be shocked if he moves up because I don't really, unless they fall in love with an edge guy and he slides. I don't see it straight enough.
I don't see
Like
that. Um,
I have a personal favorite that I already want. Um, but like, I've seen mock draft like these mock drafts are like so weird so far because like you got the dude from Michael Williams from Georgia possibly being there. You got James Pierce from Tennessee, who's my personal favorite.
you think
Uh,
he's gonna be there at where are we at? 16, 15, 16?
seven. We were at 17, but since we lost, it probably drops us down to like 15, probably.
Yeah, you think he's gonna be there?
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think so.
Michael maybe, but dude from Tennessee,
Mike Michael's retired because he's bigger. He's doing he's in the Trayvon Walker prototype. But Trayvon Walker went number one.
yeah, yeah, but that's not looking great.
Trayvon Walker didn't really produce at Georgia either until they got to the draft time. No one was talking about him being the number one pick until like a month before the draft.
My dude from Penn State, I think he's gonna be pretty high.
He's going higher yet. I mean, yeah, he's probably going top 10. Like, I mean, but I wouldn't be mad if we took a corner. 'Cause we do need a corner.
I wouldn't be mad if we took a corner, but what is that going to be? The second corner on the board?
Hell, you just got to take whoever you think's the best player on your board, regardless.
Yeah, because hell, we took the quote unquote fourth quarterback, but like
Because like remember, T.J. Watt went picked 30 in the draft. And,
Lamar went 32. Like it's
yeah,
you know,
so like good players are all throughout the draft. Like you don't have to have a premium pick to land one. Like look at everyone that went after Kyle Pitts.
I think that uh, you don't have to make a decision on Pitts. What is this? 2 catches, 20 something yards. Uh,
They didn't have like my biggest thing is that they don't have like a plan for how they want to use them.
at all. That's what it looks like at all. It doesn't look like y'all are featuring him. It doesn't look like y'all are running play. Now, remember what I said after his first start, where I was like, "Yo, it definitely looks like he's got a connection with London." Yeah, that's 100% coming in. That
Oh
was like
yeah, but Mooney being out definitely fueled it too though. But
that was his main target for the day. London had a huge day. Um, it sucked that this. It just you had so many good points on the offense that it sucked today didn't end with a win. Um,
yeah,
but I
and
think
like Bijan is like so close to like being in that Saquon conversation because the difference between him and Saquon is Saquon breaks the big runs, Bijan doesn't.
And it's not like he doesn't have the vision or the speed. You
Like
you want
it's just that much because he almost had one earlier today. They grabbed him right before he could take off.
yeah. And the crazy part is when you're looking at him, he is big. Don't get me wrong, he is, but he don't look super big until like, bro, he get into that pile and that thing start moving, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
because there was two Panthers at the line and he drove them back like 5 yards.
yeah, on that fourth down,
Yeah,
yeah, bro. Like, Bijan is like,
no, but
yeah,
he's like 5'10", he's 5'11", 6 foot 220.
yeah. He got the shiftiness to make you miss, but like that,
I don't think people realize that he's as compact as he is. Like people don't realize like 220. That's a big bat.
yeah, yeah. He's moving the line, bro. And that's where Algier obviously is going to come back next year. I'm not super concerned about that. They drafted Jace last year, so like
Yeah,
I doubt we
they're
go.
probably gonna draft them. It might be an undrafted back, but I wouldn't be surprised if we draft another back because
That's where I was going with it. I think you get an undrafted back this year. You don't worry about drafting anybody this year, but and so like that's what I'm saying. Like on the offense, maybe if you in the second round after moving down, for, like see a wide receiver slide.
yeah, we need a receiver. We definitely need another receiver, especially if they do. Because I think a lot of this depends on what they do with picks. Like they got to really sit down and figure out a plan for them. If you can't figure out a plan for them, trade them.
Yeah, because you can find blocking tight ends who can make a play every now and then within
Yeah,
this.
because they use Charlie Warner more than they use Pitch when it comes to clear rundowns. They're using him more.
Yeah,
So like if you're gonna do that, just trade him. Get a tight end that you can trust on the field more. If
and
that's the case.
Drake London is a willing blocker. Darnell Mooney's a willing blocker out there on the edges. You don't have to worry about that. Ray McLeod's. If you have a if you strike out in the draft and you have a really really nice number, he can come back on maybe, but nine times.
But I think he's on a 2-year contract though.
I thought Darnell was on the two and Ray was on the one.
No, Darnell's on 3. Darnell signed for he signed for 3 and 33 or something like that.
I know we had what's buddy that got a concussion? Washington.
He played. Well, he didn't get any receivers, but he played.
Yeah, like he's so you invested a bit in the wide receiver position. You might be good for another year.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, cause hold on. Let me see. Let me pull up Falcons. Budget. Because receiver wise, I know we have Drake, Mooney. Let's see who was our upcoming free agents. Okay, practice squad, dead money. Come on, get me to the free agents, baby. Man, roster. All right, so in terms of receivers that we have on the cap after this, we got Mooney, who's on the contract to 2027. Can I,
Drake
we got Drake London, who's on the contract to 2027.
Washington should be there.
Washington, he's a rookie. Uh, where's the other receivers? Ray. Yep, he signed a 2-year deal, so he's on the contract to
So he'll
2026.
be back next year. So then that begs the question: like, do you really
We
feel
we only
like
we only have 4 receivers on the contract though.
you drafted?
But I do imagine they re-signed Kadir Hodge because he's probably gonna be an all-pro special team player.
And he made a good catch today. So like you're bringing in 5 receivers. Do you use a pick early? I don't think so, especially considering like you need
Um,
to go. So like if you
I
can't lock down, do you draft somebody early? I don't know about that one.
I honestly I would if they draft took a receiver early, I would not be shocked at all. I
And
would not be shocked at all because the thing is, this offense loves being in 11 personnel. So since your offense is in 3 receivers, that's about 80+% of the time, you could really warrant it. But it just comes down to I think the plan with Pitch would kind of tell us everything. If Pitch is there, then they're probably more prioritize it as much because then they probably have to figure something out. But if they do trade Pitch, they're taking a receiver definitely in the first 2 rounds.
yeah, I could see that if Pitts is gone, but if your plan is to bring him back, I think Ray took a lot of the idea of what Pitts could be. Then they're talking about using him as like a deep threat receiver. They're talking about
No,
it.
yeah.
I think a point that you brought up is that Pitts is not super shifty, and he's a long strider. It takes a minute to get him going, and so like a lot of the routes that you see tight ends use in this type of offense, which are like stunt, make a little wiggle
That
sit.
was a crazy touchdown.
Huh?
That was a crazy touchdown. Like three people took the ball up, and then they do caught it in the back of the end zone.
Like sitting down his own type stuff, and it's like, is he working the match? Is he getting the matchups you want? Are you working the matchups you want? Are you scheming him open like it feels like you're scheming London open? I like you said, I think there's a lot that needs to be figured out in terms of what you want to do with him going forward because I think you're just going to get a lot. If Pitts come back next year and produces like he did the back 8 games of this season, you're gonna have people calling for your head. You know what I'm saying? Because outside
So
of the,
my thing is like the thing that hurts Pitts the most, honestly, is probably Drake London.
but we talked about this last year. Them lining up next to each other.
No, it's not even next to each other. It's just like they occupy the same type of role.
Yeah, like them, they should be opposite sides of the field, and then like it's kind of a
No, no. Whoa,
hmm?
the Patriots fired Mayo.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Damn, 1 year.
They they think Vrabel's gonna get that job.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess. But damn, like I, for the optics, I don't like that.
I mean, objectively, he did a terrible job this year.
I still don't like the optics of it. Like, get him in, get him in. 'Cause I don't like coaches getting fired in their first year because the Patriots are a bad team. So I don't like coaches getting fired in the first year of a clear rebuild before you give them a chance to get things going.
Well, I mean, they could just feel like the rebuild's not going in the right direction. Just like there's a lot of
One year is rough. Like
no, there's a lot.
I don't like that. I think if he was a different complexion, he might have he might be good for a year too. But
I'm, I mean, the same thing happened in Houston. They hired a black man and he did a great job.
yeah, Lovie Smith 1 year and they fired him and then they hired another one.
Not back to back. It was Lovey and then it was
The Cullen dude something
yeah, no,
from the Ravens.
it was back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then you got the
I don't like that.
when you but you it's the same thing with a quarterback, bro. Like when you got your guy, you got your guy. Vrabel's a good
Yeah,
coach.
I get it. I get it. I just don't like the optics.
Eh,
I'm not saying I don't get the move. I'm just saying I don't like the optics of it because I feel like if he wasn't black,
I don't know. I can't
but
really and you know
that's a whole other conversation.
I'm black in all spaces to all faces. Like, hey, if that bothers you, like, hey, it might not be the channel for you. I'm not gonna lie. I need subs, but not that bad. Um, but like, I can't really say it's a I can't really say it's a black white thing because like we've seen coaches get the axe like just Carolina last year fired him after one season, bro. Like,
Who got fired after one season last year?
um,
Oh yeah, but that was just a complete shit show.
New England ain't been much
No,
better.
no, no, because what's it called? Carolina's owner is a toddler. He's a billionaire toddler.
I mean, Kraft without Brady has been what?
He's not a toddler. You ain't never heard of Robert Kraft throwing drinks on people.
Nah, you ain't heard of that. But I mean, like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Tepper has the temperament of a toddler.
I mean, not to be that guy. You ain't heard about Tepper like getting indicted for massage parlors. I'm just like we ain't finna sweep like throwing drinks, getting indicted for massage parlors. It's one or the other. I'm just saying, like
Getting
I'm
a
not,
massage.
not here to throw crap on the
So
man.
it's illegal to get a massage.
You know what? I'm not going back and forth with you about this one. We can let that one lie because I ain't trying to get slapped with no suit about nothing. Because hey, crap, I ain't got.
Ooh, that's a bad look. Jordan Love has lost feeling in his throwing arm.
Yeah, you saw it during the game. He was trying to squeeze that pack to get that feeling
Yeah,
back.
Packers might be one and done.
Yeah, he got a week. But it looked like if you watch the play, it looked like he just got like hit on the funny bone the right way with a helmet.
I'm just saying. The last time I seen a quarterback lose feeling in their arm, it was Brock Purdy. And
He needed Tommy John. So
yeah,
if it's a UCL injury and you need like a complete repair, yeah, Packers are done. Well, I don't know because Malik Willis looked good. He looked good.
yeah, he looked good, but playoff football, we'll see.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. I think Malik Willis is. I think everybody who had Malik Willis going super high, this is what they saw out of him. He just needs to be with the right offensive mind. He looks much better, but he also got a dinger. If you watch the game, he also messed up and hit his on that 2 point conversion. He ended up throwing the ball like at the ground
Yeah.
because he lost feeling in his hand as well. But that might have been numbness due to the cold.
You you know this completely. Well, this is kind of back on the Patriots. With Joe Milton's showing, do you think any of these quarterback needed teams? Like, hey, New England, what you doing with Joe?
For a six, for a 5 or 6, yeah, yeah. Especially for this point consistently. Vrabel Vrabel rebuilt um Ryan Tannehill, right? But
No, Arthur Smith rebuilt all time.
okay, cool. But like
I'm not getting because the thing is the only thing about Vrabel is it's never a bad sign when you get fired and then the players shit talk you. That
I,
doesn't happen.
I give you that. I give you that. But if you remember, Mariota was there, right? And he worked through that whole awkward situation of Tannehill being the clearly better player and Mariota's confidence getting destroyed week after week until he finally made the switch, right? Very similar to what we just did. And then he like jettisoned Mariota, like, bro, you gotta go. Love you to death, you gotta go. Right? I think learning from that experience, and then he just went through it again with Levis. And you saw how he handled the Levis situation compared to the Mariota situation.
Okay, so here's my thing. He never won a Levis.
I think it was an owner decision. I do think
No, it was the GM
yeah, which I get.
because they hired a brand new GM because clearly Vrabel didn't have any power in there because he didn't want AJ Brown traded because during the trade he was visibly upset that they traded AJ Brown.
Which
Visibly.
you're dealt the cards you were dealt. Look how he handled the situation. I don't think he's gonna let a really talented quarterback be the backup for a long period of time, especially a young one. I think he's gonna work to, if there's a trade available, go ahead and move him along.
Yeah, but I don't think he. I mean, maybe New England does get him that type of power because I don't think New England has GMs. So
I think they do.
they don't have anyone that holds the actual title of GM.
Yeah. Now possibly not because Belichick held it forever. I don't know who was picking Mayo's picks, but the point is, like, I think he learned from that situation, and you bring that experience in. You have those conversations. Like, hell, he had one decent game. Could somebody fall in love with Trey Lance again after his game today?
I mean, possibly one because Trey Lance is gonna get it. He's gonna get an opportunity. Someone's gonna try to trace that. They're gonna try to trace that white buffalo like the Vikings did with Sam Darnold. Someone's gonna try to chase that white buffalo
And he's
with Trey Lance or Zach Wilson. One of them is going to get a starting opportunity next year.
he is still super young. I didn't realize how young he was.
Yeah, he's the same age as Penix, so he'll be 25.
He's
But
25. Yeah,
yeah,
like that is. I was like,
he was 21 when he got drafted.
yeah, I was like, yo, you got a lot of football ahead of you. If
Yeah, so and Zach Wilson is about 25, 26. But there are some people. These quarterbacks are going to get an opportunity on one of these teams that
and one of the things you said was like, oh, a quarterback needy team. My mind is actually going to, what if there's a team like Seattle or a team like the Rams who, like, I got a guy who's up there. He's nearing the end of his
I
contract.
don't. I think Seattle's in a much better situation because I'm probably higher on Sam Howell than most people. But Sam Howell is a quarterback that threw for like over 4,000 yards. Letting him sit down for a year and learn in the offense under Gino, I think they're probably less likely to go sign someone. They're more probably more likely to draft someone that sign somebody.
Mm-hmm. But that's
The Rams, maybe I could see that more likely. I could see maybe a Zach Wilson going to like the Rams.
I can see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody like Zach going to the Rams, or what's another team out there? The Jets. But like, I don't think anybody in their right mind would feel good about going there.
It depends on who the coaching staff is.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think. Well, they're interviewing Rex Ryan right now.
Yeah, but they're interviewing a lot of people, but the best candidates are still you still can interview the best candidates here. So
But I don't think that a team like now, if the Raiders swing and miss, like they don't get a quarterback, could I see them? I see them going the veteran route before they go get one of these young guys.
I think the Raiders are probably. I can see the Raiders going to go get someone like a Trey Lance or something like that.
But they already got Aiden McConnell, and it's like
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is, you take the bet on the potential. Like Aiden McConnell, I don't think Aiden McConnell, respectful, no disrespect to you, Aiden, but I don't think he stopped you from going get someone you think has a higher ceiling.
and then that just boils down to who do you think has the higher ceiling, right? Like, do you feel like you can work a little bit with Aiden, or do you feel like, hey, Joe Milton's arm talent is just I can't deny that, you know?
I would be surprised if they did it. I think probably a team like the team that will probably pull the trigger on a Joe Milton. Hell, maybe the Rams might do that.
The Rams I think are quietly in the quarterback market, in the young quarterback
No,
market.
there's not. There's not quiet about it. They definitely are because Stafford's what 30,
He's
what
30,
36, 37.
he'll be 37.
Yeah, like no, it ain't quiet about it. You got 37-year-old quarterback. Ain't nothing quiet about you wanting to find an heir apparent. And if you can get Joe Milton for like a sixth or a fifth, hey, do it.
I'm thinking in the AFC South, I don't see anybody. North, I don't see anybody. You come to the NFC in the South, the Saints need a quarterback, but I think they're looking for their franchise guy. If they don't believe in Rattler coming off this season, I think they draft a guy, get aggressive. In the NFC North, I think everybody has their guy. In the NFC
I,
West,
I
the
I
Rams,
think the Saints are about to be in quarterback purgatory. They're probably going to have to end up running back with Carr.
and then the following year getting another mid-level guy. I know, like I feel like if they don't get aggressive this draft about getting a guy, they're going to be in that
So,
revolt.
but the thing is, like, who would you get aggressive for?
That's the point. That's the
So,
point.
like, I don't think there's anyone worth. Like, no disrespect to any of the quarterback prospects in this draft, but I don't think there's anyone worthy of being overly aggressive for.
Yeah, and
The
then
the, the Titans kind of just lucked into the number one pick. And so, like, they don't got to be aggressive for nothing. They could just take who's the best guy. And I think based off skill set, I think they got Shador because Shador's play style is similar to Joe Burrow.
but then here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Like we just talked about being in the quarterback market. Could you bring Malik Willis back for a hot? You're the first pick of the second round.
I don't think they're not.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. And it doesn't have to
You
be
know,
Malik Willis.
you
Just
know, you know why they're not doing it because the GM that traded it was still there.
well, okay, cool. Insert a name. You got the first pick in the second round, first pick in the third round. You jettison off one of those picks and you pick an edge rusher or a left tackle first. Nah, you got Peter Skoransky, you ain't got a left tackle. But you feel what I'm saying? Like if you
Look, Scoring gets a
like
guard.
one of them is the guy, like Shador or Cam, if you don't feel like either one of them is the guy, could it be like 2013 where the Chiefs took what's the name? Left tackle number
Jake
one.
Fisher.
Yeah, overall. And just like I think the first quarterback taken that year was EJ Manuel. And he turned out to be no disrespect.
No, these quarterbacks ain't EJ Manuel bad. Like these quarterbacks are they're probably I don't know if their star power is there, but they're okay quarterbacks. I don't know if they'll ever be stars. I'm not gonna say they won't be stars, but I don't know if they will be.
Yeah. I think Cam Ward, I'm once again Hurricane fan. Um and this is coming from the same guy who thought Bo Nix was going to be trash this year. So take it with a grain of salt. I think Cam Ward has a bunch of bad traits that are going to get magnified at the next level if he gets taken by the wrong organization.
I mean, but that's any quarterback.
Yeah, I think for him, especially because the teams he's commonly linked to are like the Giants, who I don't know how Dayball is just Teflon Don, and just like everything keeps getting explained away as to why his team is consistently bad. And like,
Well, it sounds like he got it sounds like he probably didn't have enough power in getting his quarterback.
which okay, so that's part one. But two, when everybody wanted to put up that meeting about Saquon the conversation they had about Saquon being let go, Dayball was sitting in the room.
I don't think they will have the power.
Hey, look, man. At some
Just
point,
because just because he was sitting in the room don't mean he had the power. Because there's plenty of times where the head coach don't got power over turning over the GM.
and y'all, hey,
Because in some organizations, the GM is the head coach's boss.
and some, that's true. If you look at somebody like the 49ers, Kyle got all to say, right? Because he kind of picked this GM.
He might not got all to say, but it's definitely a good percentage.
Yeah, he picked his GM. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at other places like the Vikings, where it's like the GM basically picked the coach, but the coach is working with whatever the GM brings in. I think
Yeah,
if you look at the Giants situation, Dayball is. I really do not know how he keeps being tough. And not that I'm calling for his job or anything, but like the exact same thing that you could say about Mayo's team, you could say about
yeah.
the Giants.
Oh no, definitely, definitely. Because that's what I'm saying. Like it they both see. There we go. That just proved my point that I was talking about earlier.
But I mean, like
Like
you've had white coaches get axed after one season. You've had black coaches get axed after one season.
it's a little more frequent with the other way, but yeah.
You've had white quarterbacks get done up in one season, black quarterbacks get done up in one season. If you feel like you got the guy,
I'm talking about more so with coaching than I'm talking about quarterbacks.
yeah, but I
Quarterbacks,
mean,
if you bad, you bad. But like I feel like
do the
certain people
Giants feel
get more
like
chances than they should.
ready and waiting?
Hmm?
Do the Giants feel like they have a guy ready and waiting? I feel like the Patriots have already done the backdoor dealings and got
Yeah,
Vrabel.
well, I mean, Vrabel probably made it because the thing is, the thing is, they can hire Vrabel right now if they want to because he's not a tight. I think yeah, because he had I think like a consultantship with the Browns or some shit. So I think for like the past like week or two, he's been able to pretty much talk freely.
Well, yeah, but you still gotta interview a certain number of candidates and all that crap. But like,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, just interview, get two fake interviews and whatever,
that's really
make it
that's
look
really
good, and then hire your guy.
that's really what it is. All right, we gotta cut it because we we don't went a little long. But hey, you guys, appreciate it. Pod will drop this week. We're heading into the off season. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for the support through the season. Like, subscribe, all that good jazz. It's been your boy Q City.
Your boy Charles Bravado.
We out.
Peace.